Hello world, Shelly here, and today I'm very excited to show you the new release from Alter Ego. They've got a new palette out, the Coastal palette, and it is, I'm gonna guess, a dupe for the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Now, normally I do these videos by putting the Alter Ego palette side by side against the high-end equivalent and see if you can tell the difference between the two. But I don't have the Huda Beauty palette because something in the Huda Beauty eyeshadows makes my eyelids itch. So I no longer have any Huda Beauty eyeshadow palettes, but I figured I would still take you along for my first dip into the new Alter Ego and show you whatever eye look we end up with at the end of this thing. So that's the plan. So if you want to see what I do with these eyeballs, stick around. I have already primed with the Alter Ego eyeshadow base, and so that's already been done. It is a typical wand style of eye primer. You know my beloved favorite is the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, and the reason I prefer it is because it also gives me a little bit of color correction. You know, I've got veins that you can kind of see, blue blood vessels that you can see through my eyelids, and I like to kind of have a little bit of coverage and correction there. And I've got, you know, a little red spot on my one eyelid, whatever. I like to cover that stuff up. This is a good base that will grab onto your eyeshadow and keep it in place for a long time. Doesn't really do much for coverage. Most people don't need coverage in their eye primer, so I'm gonna wear it just to show you that it works wonderfully with these eyeshadows. Now, I haven't really thought through what I'm going to do. I just did my nails and it's like a pinky orange, which makes me think I'm gonna hang out on this side of the palette and do kind of a pinky purpley orangey thing. I'm digging the look of this shimmer here. It looks like it's probably got a duochrome pink shift to it. So I really like the color curation of this palette, which really you have to give the credit to Huda Beauty for that because they came up with the original color scheme. But I like it because you get some neutrals, a little bit of warmth if you need it. They kind of lean more neutral than warm, and then you've got some cool tones, and I love me some cool tones. So I'm a fan. I think it's a very versatile color scheme. I'm looking for my Wayne Goss #3 brush because it is necessary in my life. Where did it go? That's the 4. Where's my 3? Oh, I did go on a trip, and whenever I take my brushes with me, I'm scared that I'll lose. Oh, I found it. Oh my goodness gracious, you guys. I actually have 2 of them, and I can only find one. Look, my #3. This, I mean, I got a lot of brushes, but this is the most important one right here. The #3 is the most important. All right, I'm gonna go into that purpley shade shell right here and use that as my transition and above the crease. It's got good pigment to it. The reason I like this #3 brush is that the tapered end is, especially if you have hooded lids, it gets into the crease. So not only does that deposit color there, but it also makes it really easy to guide the brush back and forth and kind of do the placement for you. Because can you tell how it splays upward, and all that splaying is just this soft, beautiful, blown out shadow placement. So you get a little bit more concentration in the crease with the point, and then it splays out just naturally the way it's shaped. It's because of the shape that it performs that way so nicely, and that's not an accident. Like, that is how Wayne Goss designed these brushes. So bravo. I know they are expensive, but this brush in my hand right now is already 5 years old. Might be going on 6 years old. They last forever. When you invest in good brushes, you're not going to be replacing them all that often. Take care of them. don't submerge them in water. Dry them face down or tilted downward so you don't get water up into the ferrule. But they will last you a very long time. So I'm here to say good brushes are worth the investment. That said, some of my favorite brushes are very inexpensive. The e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush is like my favorite foundation brush of all times. And it's $6. So I think it's $6. Has it gone up yet? I don't know. Everything seems to be going up. Next up, where's my Sigma E25? That's my crease brush. What color do I want in the crease? You know what I'm thinking? I'm going to hold off on my crease because I think I'm going to go pretty deep. I'm going to go with that haze shade right there. And I don't want to go deep before I have the rest of my shadow down to know exactly how deep I want to go. So we're going to hold off on the crease and we're going to do that later. Let's get a flat brush. These, I'm doing my thought process out loud in case it helps anybody, because this is kind of, when I'm going into a new palette especially, and I don't have experience with it, I want to sort of give it a chance to do its best, if that makes any sense. So having had the experience of going in too dark in the crease in previous attempts, oh, I guess I could go in with this shade here. Well, can you even see what I'm doing? That one. I'm having decision issues. So that's another reason to skip it. Let's just move on. Let's go to the crease later. So I'm going to go in with Starfish because this color has been calling my name ever since I sat down with this palette. This is my Smith. What number is it? Oh, tell me the number. 253. I love this brush. Look at that triangle at the tip. Favorite thing. This is like a corally pink color. And, oh, that's pretty. I know I'm going to end up darkening that outer corner. However, I want to get this down. I'm going to take it about 2/3 of the way across my lid. Even though we're going to top off some of the outermost corner with a darker shade, I just want to get it down as a base. Oh, you could do your whole lid with this if you really wanted to. It does have a little shift of duochrome to it. It's shifting. It's orangey pink. It's like coral pink. Love it. Alter Ego does really good buttery shimmers. Their mattes are good too, but the shimmers stand out. They stand out for just how easy and pretty they are. That's beautiful. That's a good, those two shades together are just like, beauty, beautiful. Let's see. Do I want to do that pink shade? The one, all right. This, I'm not sure if I'm going to be happy about my life choices, but I think I'm going to take this one here. It's like a goldish, it's called Shore, kind of sand and shimmer. I'm going to start that. I'm going to try that one for the inner corner here. Yeah, that works, actually. Thank goodness. That, it's just a little more toned down, less corally than the corally shade. But I do think you could wear that corally shade all the way across your lid if you really felt the urge. It would be fine. Honestly, anything's fine. You can do whatever you want. It's your face. You should do whatever makes you feel good. You should do whatever gives you a smile when you look in the mirror. You should do whatever makes you happy, because it's just makeup. To quote Bailey Sarian, it washes off. You can wash it off at the end of the day. It's all good. You don't need to worry so much about it. And you're the only one that has to like it, because it's your face. These are your eyeballs. Put on your eyeballs what you want to put on your eyeballs. I want to put all of this on my eyeballs because this is pretty. That made me happy. I'm going to grab, so instead of my Sigma E25, I'm actually going to go with my Wayne Goss 20. And I've got competing thoughts in my head right now. Do I go a little bit fancy on the outer corner with that cool toned bluish swirly? Or do I just go straight in with the darkening? We're gonna get crazy. Go back to the Smith flat brush. Smith flat brush. I can't help myself because I see some pink in there. And I just want it. I want it all over my face. So I'm just gonna go lightly. I'm not... It's a little purpley too. Oh, I like that. Ooh. This is doing what I hoped. Not going too far. I just want it on like the outer third. Oh, it just makes it just a slight, it gives it like a tinge of purpley blue. Oh, I caught the light when I saw it. It looked really cool. Oh, actually, I'm going in heavier with this. This is really pretty. This is why I love makeup. Do you guys have fun with it? Like, do you sit down and like feel this joy that I feel? Am I the only one? Am I a weirdo? Okay, don't answer that. I mean, I know I'm a weirdo, but it just makes me happy. It's like this handful of minutes a day that I get to sit down, be me, have a moment that is my own, do my face. Got a little weird fallout happening. That's not the eyeshadow. I think it was last night's mascara. But you know, I just love this stuff. All right, now we're going to do the Wingos 20 and do that dark shade at the end. What is it called? Haze. I'm just going to boop twice. Like, well, now I booped 3 times, but tiny bit. And I'm going to keep it concentrated on the outer part of my crease, but then drag it all the way. And the reason this is one of my die-hard brushes is because it's small enough to fit into the crease without ruining and covering up what I did with the transition shade. So, you know, I need to blend it a little bit. And so when you have hooded eyes and that hood, when you relax your eyes, that hood kind of collapses. So the other thing that's good about this brush, little boop, is if I keep my eyes relaxed, I'm so tempted to go up, keep them relaxed, I can get that shade just visible even when my eyes are relaxed with this brush. And then, you know, lift them up and blend. Get that blending in there. I'm going to take a little bit in my outer 7. Thank you, Nisha from Sugar Puff and Fluff. The outer 7 for us droopy outer corner people instead of an outer V. It just helps visualize where to draw the stopping point as opposed to drawing it out like a V. Draw it up a little higher so it's like a 7. And that trick has totally changed how I do my makeup. And it's one of the most brilliant things I've ever learned. Thank you, Nisha. Nisha does not know who I am, but she's lovely. I love her blogs. Blogs? No, vlogs. V. Blogs with a V. Video logs. Whatever the heck we call them these days. Are they even called vlogs anymore? I guess they are. So this is the uncooperative side of my face where this little spot never holds eyeshadow. I don't know why, but I try. Here's me trying. There's the spot. Here's me trying. You are bearing witness to me trying to get that spot to hold color. All right, all right. Now I have Matthew McConaughey in my head. All right, all right, all right. Nothing wrong with that. So I'm wiping my brush off in my little color switch thing. I'm going to go back into that shell, that little purpley color, and just make sure I got it in the transition area. And this kind of helps blend out the dark edges of that dark shade. Also helps when you have hooded lids. Notice I'm keeping my eyes rested while I do this. It helps to make sure you're getting all the colors that you want to see visible at the whole, you know, regardless of whether you've got your eyes up or not. My eyebrows, I talk with my eyebrows up all the time, which is why a lot of people will be like, you don't have hooded lids. And it's like, yeah, because I like walk around like this all day. I don't know why I do that. I've always done that. Not for any reason. I had no idea. It's very convenient now that I have droopy eyelids because you can't really tell. Dr. Pepper, thank you. You saved me. I feel like I might need a little bit of shadow on my lower lash line. And we have two options here. So there's this light gray, it's like a taupey gray, and then there's a slightly more gray and slightly darker shade. I think I want to go with the slightly darker one. Nah, let's do the lighter one. How indecisive can I be? And I do this, I don't always put shadow on my lower lash line. But one thing it can do is help hide if you have any sort of lines that go up higher, kind of like I do, where the lines that form creases under my eyes are up into that space. This little fleck of mascara is going to drive me crazy. So is this one. And so if you take your shadow over those lines, they're a little less visible. However, you do have to watch for creasing, because if the shadow creases into the lines, then you end up making them more visible, and that's not the goal. So I'm putting that light shade down, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of that same purpley just at the outer to give it a little bit of that tint of color for cohesion from the top to the bottom. And I'm going to take a tiny bit of that purple shimmer, that ripple shade, because it's really calling my name right now. Just keeping it on the outer third. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. Yeah. I like it, Picasso. Now, final step. I can't help but dig into... actually, we're gonna... This is me. This is how I do my makeup. I change my mind all the time. This iridescent, like, duochrome looking shade here, I don't think it's showing on camera, but it has a pink shift to it. It's a pink to silvery blue. It's called Sparkle. I am gonna dip in with my fingertip. Oh, yes. Here's the... So I think you can see the blue. It's so hard to make it pick up on camera. It's shifting pink. I'm going to dab a little right in the center of my lid. Kind of at the... Oh, it's so pretty. Kind of at the seam where the darker shade meets the corally shade. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I'm going to use this for my inner corner as well. So I'm just kind of tapping it over that seam. And just giving a little boop to the center. And then this is a Crown C513 brush. This is like any brush, really. It's anything that has a soft tip to it, because I like that for my inner corner and for my eyebrow, my arch of my brow. Particularly when my nails are long, because I stab myself in the eye with my fingernails, and I don't like to stab myself in the eye. But my nails are short right now. I just cut them off last night. And I probably could have done this with my pinky, but we're going to use the brush. I'm going to take this also into the arch of my brow. It's not a traditional shade you'd put up in the arch. You wouldn't usually do anything with a color shift to it, but I like it so much that I'm just going to do it because, like I said, you do you. You do what makes you happy. And if this makes me happy, then I'm happy. And I want to be happy. So if that's what's going to make me happy today, that's what's going to make me happy today. All right. I got to go put my brows. I got to do my mascara, my liner. That's boring. So I will be right back. And here is the finished look. Ah, love it. Love it. I'm actually very, very glad to have this option from Alter Ego because, like I said, I can't wear the Huda Beauty palettes. And now I can have a very similar color scheme, which these are all my favorite colors. You know, pinks, purples, cool tones. You know your girl is doing the pink thing. The hair's a little bright. I know. It's fun though. It's fun. And it's only hair. And it'll wash out and then I'll change it again. So there you have it. Thumbs up from me on the Coastal palette from Alter Ego. I will link them down below if you would like to check them out. I did receive this in PR. This is not sponsored. I am not required to make a video for this. I am not paid to make a video for this. I just got the palette from Alter Ego, so thank you, Alter Ego, for sending this palette along. You know they are one of my favorite brands. There you have it. As always, thanks a lot for for checking out some time. Yeah, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.